How to make more money from your car accident case. Recently, the effectuating date of Senate Bill 452 went into effect January 1st of this year. Now, Senate Bill 452 passed back in October of 2023, and the reason I'm bringing that up now is because starting January 1st of this year, what Senate Bill 452 did is it increased the minimum amount of monetary coverage you have to have in your auto insurance policy, which for victims of auto accident cases is a really big deal. Prior to the passage of this law, the minimum mandatory coverage was $30,000 for an individual person, $50,000 for the entirety of the car, and I'll explain this, and $30,000 for property damage. So $30,000 for the individual means that if you're driving by yourself and someone hits you, regardless of how expensive your medical costs are, they are only required to provide $30,000 of insurance coverage. So if your medical bills exceed $30,000, that's all you got. I'll be doing another video about uninsured and underinsured motorist insurance. That's obviously going to come into play in these types of situations, but just for the purposes of talking today about the minimum coverage, we'll talk about that $30,000. Now, when I say $50,000 per vehicle, that means that you could have 5 people in that vehicle who got hit and they all get injured. They all have to share that $50,000 spread out among them to cover their injuries. So it doesn't matter if one person was 50,000 and the next person was 10 and the next person was 20 in terms of their medical costs. They only have that 50,000 to share among to cover those expenses. And then the 30,000 property damage is, again, if your vehicle is worth more than $30,000 and you get hit by somebody who has that minimum coverage, you're not going to receive the full value of your vehicle when they settle that claim. Now, with the passage of Senate Bill 452, those numbers have moved up. It is now $50,000 minimum policy for the individual. It is $100,000 for the vehicle, so no matter how many people are in the vehicle, and $50,000 for property damage. Now, not keeping up with where we would like it to be, but still higher than most states out there, and certainly a better situation for those of us here in North Carolina that are fighting for the victims of people's negligence when it comes to auto accident cases. So if you haven't already, when you do find yourself, or if you find yourself or a loved one in an auto accident, call us here at Matheson & Associates. We'll be happy to try to get you the most amount of money you deserve for the injuries that you suffered. Call us today at 919-335-5291.